In the heart of Central Africa, along the mighty Congo River, a powerful kingdom rose from the savannah, shaping the destiny of a continent. This is the story of the Kingdom of Kongo, a tale of ambition, faith, and the complex dance between tradition and change. Let us journey back to the late 14th century to uncover the origins of this remarkable African civilization. Our story begins with a man named Lukhini Luanini. He was a visionary leader, a warrior, and a skilled diplomat from a smaller kingdom called Bungu. Around the year 1390, Lukhini looked south across the Congo River and saw an opportunity. The lands there were fertile, and the people were divided into small, independent communities. Lukhini, driven by ambition, gathered his warriors and crossed the river, beginning a campaign of conquest and consolidation. He didn't just conquer, he built alliances. He would defeat a local ruler and then, instead of simply crushing them, he would often integrate them into his new political structure. He married into local noble families, weaving a web of kinship that bound the disparate territories together. His new capital, Banza Congo, was strategically placed on a high, fertile plateau, making it easily defensible and a natural center for trade. From this high ground, Lukhini Luanini became the first Congo, the first king, and laid the foundation for an empire that would last for centuries. The early Kingdom of Kongo was a marvel of organization. The society was structured like a pyramid. At the very top was the Kongo, an absolute monarch believed to have a spiritual connection to the land and the ancestors. Below him were 6 key provinces, each governed by a trusted official appointed by the king. These governors collected taxes, raised armies, and administered justice. Below them were district and village chiefs, ensuring the king's authority reached every corner of the realm. This system wasn't just about power, it was about stability. The economy was based on sophisticated agriculture. Farmers grew yams, bananas, and sorghum. They were skilled blacksmiths, forging iron into tools and weapons that were highly valued. Congo was also famous for its textiles, particularly cloths made from raffia palm fibers. These weren't just for wearing, they were a form of currency, used in trade and to pay taxes. Cowrie shells, imported from the Indian Ocean, were another form of money, showing that Congo was part of a larger, intercontinental trade network long before Europeans arrived. Life in Banza Congo was vibrant. The capital grew into a bustling city, home to tens of thousands of people. It was a center of political power, spiritual life, and incredible artistry. The people of Congo were master sculptors, creating powerful wooden and ivory figures that were central to their religious beliefs. They believed in a supreme creator god, Nzambi Mpungu, but their daily spiritual life revolved around honoring ancestors and nature spirits, known as Nkisi. These spirits could be called upon for protection, healing, and justice, often through intricate power figures crafted by specialists. For over 100 years, the Kingdom of Kongo flourished in relative isolation, growing in wealth and influence. And then, in 1483, everything changed. A ship appeared on the horizon, captained by a Portuguese explorer named Diogo Chao. He was searching for a sea route to India, but instead, he found the mouth of the Congo River and the powerful kingdom that controlled it. The first encounter was one of mutual curiosity and respect. The Portuguese were impressed by the organized, powerful state they found. And the Congo leadership was intrigued by the newcomers and their strange technology, the sailing ships, the firearms, the different clothing. Diogo Chao took some Congo nobles back with him to Portugal as a sign of goodwill, promising to return them. True to his word, he returned a few years later, and this marked the beginning of a unique and complex relationship. The reigning king at the time, Nzinga Nkuwu, saw potential in an alliance with Portugal. He saw their military technology as a way to further expand his kingdom and solidify his power. The Portuguese, in turn, saw a powerful Christian ally in Africa and a potential source of wealth. So, Nzinga Nkuwu made a momentous decision. In 1491, he and his royal court converted to Christianity. He was baptized and took the Christian name João I, in honor of the Portuguese king. Banza Congo was renamed São Salvador. This wasn't just a casual conversion. The Congo elite embraced Catholicism with enthusiasm. They built churches, learned to read and write in Portuguese, and sent their children to be educated in Europe. João I's son, Afonso I, who came to the throne in 1509, was an even more devout Catholic. Afonso, whose Congo name was Mbemba Nzinga, saw Christianity as a modernizing force. He worked to establish a syncretic form of Catholicism that blended Christian teachings with Congo cosmology. He envisioned a Congo that was both fully Christian and fully African, a modern kingdom on the world stage. He established a formal state church, corresponded directly with the Pope in Rome, and promoted literacy and European-style education. Under Afonso I, the Kingdom of Kongo reached its zenith. It was a sophisticated, literate, and powerful Christian kingdom in the heart of Africa. However, the relationship with Portugal had a dark side that would soon cast a long shadow over the kingdom. The Portuguese weren't just interested in faith and friendship, they were interested in profit. And the most profitable commodity they found was human beings. The transatlantic slave trade had begun. And the demand for enslaved labor on sugar plantations in the Americas, particularly in Brazil, was insatiable. Initially, the slave trade in Congo followed traditional patterns. The king would sell criminals or prisoners of war, something that was common practice in the region. But the Portuguese demand was limitless. Soon, Portuguese traders, often acting without official permission, began bypassing the king's authority. They armed local chiefs and rivals, encouraging them to wage wars for the sole purpose of capturing people to sell. Kidnapping became rampant. The social fabric of the kingdom began to tear apart. King Afonso I was horrified. He saw his country being depopulated and destabilized. He wrote a series of powerful, heartbreaking letters to the King of Portugal, pleading with him to control his subjects. In one famous letter from 1526, he wrote, "Each day the traitors are kidnapping our people, children of this country, sons of our nobles and vassals, even people of our own family. This corruption and depravity are so widespread that our land is entirely depopulated. We need in this kingdom only priests and schoolteachers, and no merchandise, unless it is wine and flour for the Holy Sacrament." His pleas fell on deaf ears. The profits were too great. The slave trade had become a monstrous engine that couldn't be stopped. It corroded the king's authority and fueled internal conflicts. The very alliance that Afonso had hoped would modernize and strengthen his kingdom was now threatening to destroy it from within. Despite these immense pressures, the Kingdom of Kongo endured. For the next century, Afonso's successors tried to navigate this treacherous new world. They fought to control the slave trade, sometimes successfully, sometimes not. They battled internal rebellions fueled by Portuguese guns and money. The kingdom became a battleground between forces of centralization loyal to the king and forces of fragmentation driven by the slave trade. The kingdom's wealth, once based on agriculture and skilled crafts, now became dangerously dependent on the trade in human lives. This dependence weakened the traditional economic structures and created a new class of powerful warlords whose wealth came not from loyalty to the king, but from their connections to European slave traders. The rise of the Kingdom of Kongo is a story of incredible achievement and profound tragedy. It shows us a powerful and sophisticated African society that, on its own terms, built a vast and stable state. It also serves as a cautionary tale about the devastating impact of the transatlantic slave trade, which turned allies into enemies and tore apart one of Africa's greatest kingdoms. The legacy of Congo is still felt today in the culture, language, and history of modern-day Angola and the Congo region. It's a reminder of a glorious past and the complex forces that shaped our modern world. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the history of the Kingdom of Kongo. If you found this story fascinating, please hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into history, and share your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.